everybody, it's Cecilia from Jill B Delivers, and today I'm going to show you how to make blueberry hand pies, which are, it's just a great summer pie recipe that you can make into just little handheld pies. I always think it's kind of funny. I think people fall into either the cake camp or the pie camp, and our family is definitely in the pie camp. My 16-year-old has asked for an apple pie for his birthday every year since I can remember, so we love to make pies at our house. I'm going to show you how to make a homemade pastry, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with just buying a pie crust at the store. You know, it's really fun to be able to make pies, and there's no reason you have to do everything from scratch. I'm going to show you how to make a sour cream pie crust because it's super flaky and really delicious, but you can always just go ahead and purchase a pie crust. So for our pastry crust, we're going to start with 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to use a ½ teaspoon of salt, and then actually 2 sticks of butter. And one of the things that makes this super flaky and delicious is that we have the lemon juice, which actually breaks up the gluten a little bit, makes it a little more tender, and also sour cream, which adds a little more fat to it. And then we have, we're going to use a ½ cup of this ice water to bring it all together. So to make our pie crust, we are going to combine a ½ teaspoon of salt into flour in a mixing bowl. And we're just going to whisk that together. And then make a little well in the middle. We're going to put our butter in the middle. And then we're just going to start to work this together until it becomes coarse crumbs. Now you could use a pastry cutter for this. I'm just going to go ahead and use a fork. So I've gone ahead and worked in my butter into my flour and salt mixture. And then in this bowl I have ½ cup sour cream, 4 teaspoons fresh lemon juice, and a ½ cup ice water. I'm going to add this into the dough and just mix it in gently until all the flour is moistened. Then I'm going to go ahead and work it into a dough. So got it like that. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands. Just bring it together until it's a nice dough consistency. Now that it's come together into a nice dough, I'm actually going to wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge and let it chill for at least an hour. We are going to make the filling for our blueberry hand pies. And again, I love blueberries, but you can make hand pies with apples, you can make it with peaches. Essentially, you can make it with sort of any other pie filling you would use for a regular pie. For this, we have 4 cups of blueberries, and we're going to add the zest and juice of 1 whole lemon. I'm going to add just a ¼ teaspoon of salt. And we're also going to add a ¼ teaspoon of cinnamon, just adds a little bit of warmth. It's a nice little flavor. We'll put that in. And then I've got a ½ cup of sugar. We're going to add a ½ cup of sugar. If this was a pie, I would use 6 cups of blueberries and I would use 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And then the last thing, and this is really what holds it all together, is we're going to use some cornstarch. And we're going to use 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And this will sort of coagulate and make it a little bit thicker, and so it's not quite so juicy. So it's really just a thickening agent. So I've got 3 tablespoons. And then I'm just going to mix this together. So I've taken my dough out of the refrigerator and I've cut it in half. I'm just patting this dough. I'm putting flour on. I want to use a lot of flour so it doesn't stick. And I'm going to go ahead and roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch. Now, once I've rolled it to 1/8 of an inch, I'm going to cut circles. And this is a 5-inch bowl. These are going to be fairly small hand pies. You can easily make it a lot larger and do a 6-inch bowl. This is about as small as you should go if you're using blueberries. So now once these are cut out, I'm actually going to put them on my prepared sheet pans, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Now these are my pastry circles and they have been chilled, and I'm just going to put a little bit of egg wash around the rims of them and then form a little cone shape, and then I'm going to put about a tablespoon, a little bit more than a tablespoon, and then a dab of butter, and then I'm going to seal them shut using my fingers. So then I'm going to just crimp the edges with a fork, and then I'm going to put my egg wash on top of these, and once they have the egg wash, then I'm going to sprinkle with granulated sugar and make a small slit on the top of them for steam and any juice to escape.